I'm Nik Sharma, a molecular biologist turned cookbook author and full-time flavor enthusiast. Today, we're making lemon and turmeric braised chicken, juicy, golden, and here's my favorite part. It highlights all the facets of lemon flavor that I love. Zest for brightness, juice for punch, preserved lemon for that funky, savory edge. Let's cook. If you want to make this recipe, you can get step-by-step instructions and follow along on the ATK app. For this dish, I need lemon juice and zest. The juice brings the acid, and that acid is wonderful at tenderizing meat. But if you use too much, it can actually destroy the texture, so use it judiciously. Zest brings the aroma, that bright, citrusy perfume. Both go into the marinade. I love the brightness that lemons bring to food. They wake up everything. Whenever you're zesting a lemon, you just want the bright, yellow, thin skin that's on top. That's where all those beautiful aromatic essential oils are trapped. And that's what I'm extracting. Now I'm going to cut these lemons and extract the juice. Lemon juice is sharp. It has low pH and high acidity. And used right, it will help tenderize meat. If you go too far, it destroys the texture. We're aiming for balance. Now that I've prepped the lemons, I'm going to add some of the lemon juice and the zest to the bowl to make the marinade. The rest of this lemon juice and zest, I'm going to save this for later. This isn't enough liquid to coat the chicken yet, but a little olive oil not only helps stretch the marinade, it also grabs onto all those oil-soluble citrusy compounds and coats them onto the meat. Now for the flavor backbone, garlic. I'm using the Searing Gourmet 8-inch chef's knife to mince my garlic. I love working with a sharp knife because it helps me mince my garlic really fine. Now I'm just adding my garlic straight to the bowl with the marinade. I'm going to go collect the spices to finish off my marinade. First, I'm going to add some dried oregano. Next, I'm adding some smoked paprika, some turmeric, and some black pepper. Each one adds its own layer, earthy, warm, smoky, and sharp. Together, they turn the simple marinade into something bold and deeply aromatic. And finally, I'm going to finish this off with some salt. Salt does more than seasoning. First, it draws out moisture, and then later, it diffuses back in. Salt gently unravels proteins so that they can hold on to more juice as they cook. This marinade is key to building flavor in my chicken. It's got the lemon juice, the lemon zest, a bunch of spices, and salt. All of those flavors get layered into the chicken as it cooks, which will make it extra flavorful and very lemony. I'm just going to prep my chicken next and then add the chicken to this marinade. I'm using bone and skin on chicken thighs, and here's why. Dark meat can handle the lemon's acidity while adding deep, chickeny flavor to the whole dish. Now I'm just trimming off any excess fat and skin that's present on the chicken. I've got 8 chicken thighs that I'm prepping. I love using chicken thighs in recipes just because they have much more flavor, and they're also much more forgiving when you're cooking, which is really fantastic on a weekday night when it's busy and you don't want to deal with the fuss. The fat that's present under the chicken skin takes a longer time to render during cooking, which is why I like it, because that skin protects the chicken from overcooking. Now I'm going to add my chicken that I prepped directly into the bowl with the marinade and making sure that every part of this chicken is coated with the marinade very well. I want that flavor through and through. And that's done. I'm placing the thighs skin side down in a cold, non-stick skillet over medium heat. Starting cold lets the fat render slowly, giving us that crisp, golden skin without overcooking the meat. I'm going to cook these chicken thighs for about 9 minutes and then flip them over and continue cooking. I can smell the paprika and the lemon and even the oregano coming through as the chicken cooks, and it smells wonderful. One way to tell if it's time to turn your chicken thighs is to look for the water. If the water is completely evaporated and all that's left behind is the fat, it's time to flip the chicken. Look at that beautiful seared skin, that beautiful golden crust that's forming. That's going to be so good in this dish. That looks beautiful. I'm going to cook this for another 6 to 8 minutes and come back to it. While that happens, I'll slice up a couple of shallots. Shallots come in different sizes. The recipe calls for 2 shallots. I'm using 1 large shallot. I'm looking to see if the underside of the chicken is browned enough. This is what I'm looking for on the underside of the chicken thigh. I want it to be nice and golden brown before I move it to a plate. The chicken comes out, but I'm not done with the fat. There's flavor in this skillet and we're about to put it to work. Chicken fat is liquid gold and I want that flavor everywhere. I need 1 tablespoon of this rendered chicken fat and I'm adding it right back to my pan. Now the sliced shallots go in. A quick cook until they're soft and golden. The shallots are done, they're soft and golden, and now I'm going to transfer them into a bowl. In goes the couscous, a North African semolina pasta. I'm looking for the couscous to start giving off a nutty fragrance and turn golden brown. That's when I'll add the water and the rest of the ingredients to finish this up. Next, I'm going to add some water. I'm adding in some turmeric and then some salt. To keep things easy, I'm using canned artichokes and chickpeas. Pre-cooked, no prep needed, just drain, rinse, and in they go. Now I'm returning the chicken that I seared earlier back into this pan. And I'm pouring all of that delicious liquid from the chicken back into the pan. I'm just putting the lid on, I'm going to let this simmer, and in about 20 minutes, it's all going to come together. While the chicken simmers, a quick shout out to our sponsors Staub and Zwilling. Staub's French-made cast iron and Zwilling's knives are tools that I enjoy using and keep reaching for year after year. If you want to learn more about the products that I've used in the video today, look at the links below. Let's talk about our final lemon layer, preserved lemons. I'm using jarred preserved lemons, but if you want to make your own, you can find a recipe on the ATK app. They're a staple in North African and Middle Eastern cooking and one of my favorite pantry ingredients. I grow lemons in my backyard, and when my trees are full, I make preserved lemons. Whole lemons get packed in salt and left to cure. Over time, the rinds soften, the acidity mellows, and funky complex flavors develop thanks to salt-loving microbes like lactobacillus. Now I'm going to prep my preserved lemons. I'm going to cut it in half and get rid of that pulp in the center. That's what we don't want. I'm using my Zwilling Gourmet Chef's knife to finely chop these preserved lemons. When you do quick prep work like this, it's really important to use a knife that feels light and balanced in your hand. The preserved lemons are done. I'm now going to go and check on my chicken. It's been about 15 minutes. Let's take a look. The couscous has soaked up all that liquid and it's now fluffy and golden. Now let's check the chicken. That's perfect. Now I'm preparing the dressing. First, I'm adding olive oil. Next, lemon juice. Lemon juice is going to add brightness. It's going to make everything in here sing with joy. In goes the lemon zest, my preserved lemons, and dried oregano. I'm mixing this all together. The dressing's done and I'm going to move it to the side. Last step, I'm adding the couscous to the shallots. I'm adding a handful of arugula to the couscous and the shallots, and I'm going to toss that all together. I love arugula for that fresh peppery bite it adds. I'm going to pour the lemon dressing all over my chicken and it'll be ready to serve. I love this dish for the brightness of the lemons in here. It's got preserved lemons, the lemon juice, the lemon zest. It's just very bright and refreshing, and I could eat this at any time of the year. I can taste the citrus coming through from the zest, the juice. I can taste the preserved lemons, which are adding a little bit of funkiness. It's all coming through in the chicken. And that's dinner. You can find links to all the Staub and Zwilling products featured in this video in the description below. I can't wait to see you next time.